You know, I love to power fish, but right now it's early spring. You know, I live in Michigan and the ice is just coming off. The water's cold and it's really, really clear. So yeah, real soon I'm gonna be catching them good on a red-eye shad and a jerkbait and things like that, a thunder cricket. But you know, right now you have to have a really good finesse approach. So, you know, I like a lot of different finesse baits, but what I've learned is I've got a few that just really, really shine. And anywhere in the country, anytime that I'm faced with clear water, I've got pressured fish, you know, I need to be able to generate bites when it's tough. I've got a few baits in my back pocket that really get it done. So, you know, that's a Ned rig. And, you know, a Ned Ocho is one of my, you know, just go-tos. It's just got that real darty, sticky action to it. But when it gets real tough, I've found that Baby Z2 rigged on that Strike King Ned head, it's the devil. It is just a phenomenal little fish catcher. So those two, you know, the way they work on the bottom, that head makes them stand right up just like this when you're fishing them. And it just really, really makes a big difference in the number of bites that you get. In ultra clear water, that Baby Z2 with that little tail, it just has a lot of movement to it. You know, if that water's a little bit colored or whatever, this Ned Ocho's, it's a little bigger profile. They're both just phenomenal baits. And I'll just kind of, you know, have one tied on and go back and forth between them. The other, and I learned this from my buddy Zona, is that, and I'm a tube fisherman. I grew up fishing tubes. A Strike King coffee tube is a deadly bait. It's a great part of my arsenal. But just the difference in downsizing to this Bitsy tube on those tough days and in this cold water can be just a game changer. So, I mean, it's a subtle bait. You know, we've got a whole line of tour grade Bitsy heads made just specifically for these tubes because you need the right size hook. I mean, that's the key with all of these is having the right rigging setup for them. So we've got, you know, all the sizes, and I'm going to try to use as light as I can get away with in every situation. You know, if the wind's blowing though, don't be scared to put, you know, that heavy Bitsy tube head inside of there and snap it around. I mean, that fast fall, even in cold water, a lot of times can trigger them. So I like to fish these, you know, on my GS4 KVD spinning rod. It's a 7.2 medium light action. I've got these matched with that Custom Light 200 series. This has just been a phenomenal reel for me. I really like it a lot. And, you know, either straight fluorocarbon or, you know, braid with fluorocarbon, light line though. You know, this is 6 or 8 pound test fluorocarbon leader on there. I'm using 8 pound braid on there just for castability and, you know, just fishing these baits wherever I think the fish are at, you know, I mean, wherever they're set up at, and just working them real slow. I mean, that Ned action with that way that bait stands up is just dynamite on certain days. And then other times, especially I think when they're really focused on crawfish or maybe gobies, that little Bitsy tube is just really, really incredible. The way it scoots along the bottom, it gets in that little scruffy grass, and when you snap it free, you can generate a lot of bites with it. So these are deadly, deadly baits, you know, when you've got a tough bite. And again, just the action on them is incredible. I'm gonna choose natural colors. You know, you can see everything I've got lined up here. You know, green pumpkin, Arkansas shiner. I like something with a little chartreuse in it as well. But, you know, natural colors tend to really, really shine on these baits. You're getting them down there in the bottom, in clear water, whatever the forage is, it pretty much blends like a chameleon with the surroundings. So, you know, if I'm fishing around a lot of green grass, I may go, you know, to more of a watermelon-y tint. If it's more sandy, that's where, you know, that light melon purple is just one of my favorites up here in Michigan. But these baits and these techniques work all across the country. I mean, from Florida to Tennessee to Missouri to out east, out west. These are just deadly, deadly baits. If you get them around the fish, they can't help but bite them.